What's good, Illumineers, my Lorcana fam out there? AZ Aquaman here with another video for you guys. Just got done competing this weekend and did a couple of set champs. So for today's video, I'm gonna be doing a deck profile on a first place winning deck that I took. But before I continue on with this deck profile, I just gotta let you know. So for this set champ, I wanted to challenge myself and see if I can get a card or possibly win the playmat without using Steel Mufasa. So I entered and I did 3 set championship this season. The first 2, I wanted to use the other deck that I do like playing is Emerald Sapphire. That's the other color I like playing. So the first set champs, I didn't do too hot. I did the Emerald Sapphire. You came back Mufasa, which I will come back to again because I think that deck's just really fun to play. So I didn't do well on that one. I didn't even top 8. The second one, I got the card, but I still didn't do as good as I thought I would on that second set champ using Emerald Sapphire, but instead I used Bend to My Will version with the muses that bounce. So my last set champ, I said, you know what, let's try to run Emerald Sapphire again. But the morning of, I just figured, you know what, I can't do a set championship season without Steel Mufasa. So right then and there, that morning, I tweaked up some cards, changed it up a little bit, and I said, you know what, I'll either lose or win with Mufasa today on my last set champ. So I did take my Steel Mufasa deck for my last set champ, and we got the W on that one. And this is the deck profile on it. So as usual, I'll try to make this short and sweet. You guys pretty much know like a lot of the standard deck profile I have for Steel Mufasa, but I did change up some stuff. So here we go. My 1-drops, standard daisies, because we need to quest fast. This is a little bit more lower to the ground. I changed it up from like my kind of like my mid-rangey type. I took out a lot of my top ends, so I went back a little bit on the lower to the ground version. But these will still remain the same: 4 daisies and 4 Cindy's. Either one is great opening hand. I prefer the Cinderella, but Daisy's not bad. As long as we got the 1-drop, we're usually pretty good. All right, our 2-drops, got the 3 Lilos and the 4 Mr. Schmeisters here. I don't know, you can't really go lower than 4 with Mr. Shmee in my opinion. I think Mr. Shmee's like the go-to turn 2 drop most of the time. The other 2 that I really like, depending on the matchup here, is we're back to running 3 Calhouns, and then one of our main draw engines here. We're running 4 Docks, and then 3 Piglets. So this is our 2-drop line. You guys notice I don't have Helga. I honestly I just wanted to go a lot more lower to the ground and play a little bit more aggressive this time around. So this is my 2-drop right here. And I really do like the dock back at 4. I was running 3. It wasn't bad, but now that I'm running 4, it feels a lot better. So on our 3 drops here, we're sticking around with 4 Lawrences because he's a 4/4 body that could just trade or trample through things, and then a very good Rapunzel target. One of the MVPs this weekend, definitely Pete, put in work against Steel Song. Definitely got me some wins that I needed. So Pete is definitely one of the MVPs this weekend. So my 2 ofs, I have 2 Docks and 2 John Silvers. John Silver to obviously, you know, negate challenging from the opposing character or opponent, and then Doc to cheat out some of our 5-drop characters to go to turn 4, and I'll show you some of those characters later. But this is our 3-drop right here. Most of the time, if I'm on the draw, I typically just ink Doc. Because I mean, with a bunch of steals running around and maybe even Ruby decks, if you do play some, if you're on the draw, unless you really have nothing to drop but Doc turn 3, I usually tend not to play him, especially if I'm on the draw, because he usually just gets sniped out and it just feels really bad playing my turn 3 on Doc. So I'll probably just play the Lawrence's or the John Silver, so my Shmi doesn't get damaged. But on the play, I love having Doc, because a lot of the times I'm able to cheat out my turn 5 characters. So yeah, that's how I utilize Doc. Song package, we got Let the Storm Rage On, or Einstrom Zaytuf in German. And standard 4, Strength of Raging Fire. So this is my song package here. That's it, 8 songs, that's all we need. We don't want to get too much because this is a Mufasa deck. 8 is perfectly fine. So 4 drops, we're running back with the 2 Plutos. It's just nice to have a beefy 5 strength character to just like mow down and help bring down some of those locations. And Pluto's an excellent bodyguard at turn 4 that can trade with basically anything right now. My other 4 drop, don't need to explain about this. We got 4 Rapunzels, our main draw engine. I really hope she gets reprinted, or we are screwed. We don't have any draws, good draws at least. So hopefully Rapunzel gets reprinted. Only time will tell, but 4 Rapunzels, our main draw engine. And then onto our 5-drop characters. We're playing the 2 Chenpos. So why change it up and switched up the Chenpos from the Bagheeras? I still like the Bagheeras, but honestly that day felt like I thought there was going to be a lot of steel running in that tournament. So I figured Chenpo's big body, and on top of that, I can possibly cheat out a Chenpo on turn 4 with Doc. A 4/7 stat is very hard to get rid of if there's a lot of steel. And with Bagheera, I just figured, you know, it's nice to hit the opponent with 2 damage, but if you're playing against like really good players, they know how to kind of work around that and then know when to time, you know, playing their characters if they want to get rid of Bagheera. And Bagheera being a 3 defense stat line against steel, it just gets clobbered. So it just felt really bad. So I just went with Chenpo on this one, which I was right. There was a lot of steel going around that day. And then the other 5 I did keep it's Beast, Emo Beast. So I like Emo Beast here now is because, one, he's just like a lightning rod. People tend to just like tag him up so you don't get the extra draw. So it does help utilize some of your opponent's resources if you want them to use it on Beast and you want to try to save maybe like one of your characters or something like that. But other than that, he is a nice 4-drop from Doc, especially on the play, because this deck needs constant resources. So dropping Beast at turn 4 and being able to just constantly get that free draw with this deck is very good. And last but not least, you guys already know, I don't need any explanation for this, Big Daddy Mufasa. Everyone knows Mufasa. I don't need to explain, but usually against like slower or mid-rangey type decks, I utilize Mufasa, but for this set champ, I think I used him once, but a lot of the times I actually just went lower to the ground to just get the lures faster. So for this set champ, I think I used Mufasa once, maybe twice, but with the slower, against the slower mid-rangey type of decks, like Mufasa's like very good, especially against like Ruby, like any Ruby stuff. You can time their B preps, so quest quick and quest fast, and then counter Inkwell, and if they're about to be in B prep range, just drop Mufasa. It puts extra pressure on them. So Mufasa's good against those type of situations, but just this weekend, yeah, I literally probably used them once, maybe twice. I was usually just going low to the ground most of the time. So that is the first place winning Steel Fasa deck I took at my third and final set championship. I will be still playing Emerald Sapphire because I think it's just one of the colors I really enjoy playing. I think it's a fun color to play, and the deck's fun. I think I just need to get better as a player to pilot it. So yeah, I forgot, I do get a handful of comments in some of these deck profiles of people asking, you know, to show some mulligan steps and mulligan stuff for the deck. So I'm gonna shuffle this up before we end the video. I'll shuffle this up and I'll just do a quick little mulligan and show you guys like what I would choose, what I would keep, what I would put back. So let me just shuffle this real quick. Make sure this is shuffled good. All right, I think they shuffled. I think this is good enough. Hopefully it's good enough, but we're just gonna go with it. All right, so we shuffled, we're gonna cut the deck. All right, let's draw our 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so typically, if I'm going in blind and I don't know what I'm playing, yes, the Daisy is nice. The Daisy is super nice, actually, if you're playing against like something really slow, like red-blue or something. But if I'm going in blind, I'm going first. Honestly, I would probably put the Daisy back. So if I'm going in blind, I would probably just keep the Cinderella and the Shmi. If I was going in blind. So I don't know who I'm playing, or I don't know what deck I'm playing, so I'm just gonna keep the Cinderella and the Shmi and put the rest back. At least that's what I would do. And draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We draw 5. So good. We drew our Rapunzel, which is awesome. One of our main draws right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's actually not bad, but it would have been awesome if we would have opened up with Storm. But we could still draw into it. So if you guys see, that would be my mulligan for going first. All right. So right off the bat here, we've got our turn 1 Cindy. We got our turn 2 Shmi. We've got our turn 3 Pete. And then our turn 4, depending on the situation, we can do either a turn 4 Rapunzel if they give us a Rapunzel play, whether if we drew a song to hit one of our guys, if we want more resources, or challenge one of their characters with Pete or something and then hit a Rapunzel. If we don't have a Rapunzel play, we do have a 2-character play on turn 4. We have a Shmi and a Piglet on turn 4 if we want to go wide. So depending on the situation, what you want to do, those are the plays. This is looking like a good line of cards that we can play. So the only thing we can really ink here is we have to ink the Mufasa. So we'll play the Cindy, we'll pass, they'll pass on. Also, we pulled another Shmi here. We have 3 Shmi, so we're gonna ink the Shmi and then just play the Shmi. I'm just gonna play this out just how it is. I'm not like gonna go crazy too in depth of like if they have like characters or songs. This is just like simple lines. I'm just showing you guys what you can do. So if it's our turn, we got the Beast. So right here, I'm gonna ink the Beast because we're still far from turn 5, and we do have Rapunzel still for the draw, and then we'll just play Pete no action. And then depending on the situation, what you guys need to do, whether you want to quest with Shmi or not, depending, do what you need to do depending on the situation. And then if we go to our turn 4, so we pulled a Daisy. Ooh, so we're in a conundrum here. So we drew an uninkable, which means we can't do the Shmi and a Piglet play. And I don't really want to ink my Rapunzel, just in case we definitely need to draw. So this is what I would do in this situation. Some people might do something different, but this is what I would do. I would probably not ink this turn. And then depending on the situation, probably start questing at this turn or maybe challenging. So I'm not going to ink this turn. And what I'm going to do is, if I don't want my Shmi damage, I would probably just play Piglet and the Daisy for 3 without inking this turn. This is why we have lower to the ground characters, because we can get away with that. And then next turn, if we have a Rapunzel play, we can ink the next card and then play the Rapunzel. But I wouldn't ink this turn, to be honest with you. So it's either you go with the Piglet and Daisy. Daisy's going to come down this turn no matter what. We're going to go wide. So we either do a Daisy Piglet or a Daisy Shmi play, depending on the situation. So maybe we do, if we're going against like slower end, definitely Daisy Piglet. If we're going against Steel, I would probably just go with the Shmi, because that Piglet's probably just going to get sniped out by something. So I don't really want to waste a turn for a card just to get clobbered like that. So we'll probably play the Shmi and the Daisy. And then if we have a Rapunzel play, I would most likely play or ink the Piglet, depending on the card. If it's more than likely, I'll probably ink the Piglet. But yeah, let's say we just quest, do our thing. Let's say on our clapback, we lose the Shmi on something. And if you notice, I haven't really been questing with Cindy, because just in case I do get a song, I don't think it's worth losing her for just that lore. So we did. So here's another situation here. We drew into a dock. If we have a Rapunzel play, okay, if we can max value Rapunzel, I would run Daisy into something to maybe give her 3 damage. I would ink Piglet and then play the Rapunzel to grab the max play and draw 3 cards. If we don't have a Rapunzel play, this is supposed to be like a fast deck, guys. We got to quest, because the longer the game prolongs, the weaker this deck will get against other decks. So what I would do is, if I don't have a Rapunzel play, I would actually ink the Rapunzel and then play the Piglet and then play the dock. That's what I would do for that turn. If we have a Rapunzel play at max value, or even at 2 draws, I'll take the 2 draws for the Rapunzel play. I'll take the Rapunzel play, ink the Piglet, and then play the Rapunzel, and then draw 2 cards. And then next turn, so we have Mufasa and Strength. Now we can sing Strength. Probably won't exert Cinderella, and then we have a full board on field to just blast something. Let's just see what we get on our next draw, and let's see what kind of plays I'd make. So we got the Lilo. Yeah, at this point, this is perfect. So we're going to have to ink the Mufasa. We have 5 in the inkwell. Ooh, I guess it wouldn't be. So what I would do is, actually, I would sing Strength and probably shoot down something important. And after I sing Strength, I don't even think I'm gonna play the Lilo here. I guess you can go either way, but I think I'm gonna keep the Lilo in hand instead of playing the Lilo, and then play the dock for 2, and then discard my Lilo and see what we get here. Boom, look at that, perfect ink. Now we drew into a Lawrence. Now we have Lawrence on play, and we have Lilo in the discard to just be played anytime, whenever. And we grab the Chenpo this turn. So yes, this is like obviously like a really good scenario. But I'm just showing you guys like the lines you can take. Obviously, like, we're not gonna probably keep like all these characters, because your opponent's gonna be doing something to your board also. But I'm just showing you guys like different lines you can take on the type of inks you have, the amount of inks you have, whether you should ink, or what type of draws you have in hand. Like that's the kind of stuff like you have to look at in the situations you have to use, I guess, and utilize depending on the circumstances you have on the board state. So there you have it. That's a nice little like rundown on the mulligan step and what type of lines I would take depending on the situation. And obviously that was all random because I was just drawing. So it's not like I was just picking out cards. So those were the cards I was given, and that's the type of plays I would be playing. So, all right, now we're done with the video. Hopefully you guys like the vids. Just please like and subscribe. Thank you for the support. Until next time.